So let's see. So I'll go ahead and let's get started.
All right.
I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Today on March 19th, we'll just do a roll call. So I'm Guillermo Hobleman, the president, and I'm from the city of Hermosa Beach. And then Mike.
Hi, everyone. I'm your Vice President, Michael Perez, City of Los Angeles.
Jovi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jovi. I'm from Los Angeles County.
And Perla, our secretary.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Perla Herrera from City of Glendale.
And our past president.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Louis, City of Montclair.
And let's see, we definitely want to go through and introduce our past presidents and honorary members. So we've got quite a few here. Let's see, we have Cynthia, Savala, Celine Sarkozlu.
Hi, everyone.
Let's see,
Richard
yes,
Lucas.
Definitely. While we have him before he does more camping soon.
And who else?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you all there for a minute.
Just going through introducing all of our past presidents and honorary members.
I see. Oh, Jess is here. Jess, Deanna. Who else?
Yes, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Thanks for joining us.
I think that's it.
If there's anyone that I'm missing, please remind me. Let us know you're here. So with that, so we're just gonna go ahead and drop in our chat the previous meeting minutes. And they should already be in the chat, but if everybody could take a look at them, and if we could have a first and a second to go ahead and get those approved.
So moved.
That's Celine?
Yes.
Yes, and if we could get a second.
This is Cynthia. I'll second.
Great. And then the next item on our agenda after the meeting minutes. So we do have our budget that was posted for a month since our last meeting. And it's our budget for the 2026 annual budget for the chapter. So if we could get a first and a second to approve that as well.
So moved. It's Celine.
Thank you, Celine. And if we could get a second. If we could get a second to approve the budget.
Seconded. This is Pete Goodrich.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Pete. Appreciate it. So then moving on here to our communications. So I wanted to just let everybody know we'll be having our April monthly meeting, which will be coming up at the county next month. And that will be covering WUI updates. So we'll be going ahead and posting that online for sign up. So that will be our first in-person event. That'll be April 9th. So we definitely look forward to seeing everybody there. Again, it'll be our first in person, so it'll be great to see a lot of people joining us. And with that, I'll go ahead and pass it on to our Vice President.
So good morning, everyone. We have a save the day for June 16th. That's the day we'll have our training matrix. This is an in-person training at the Department of Public Works. It's usually in Alhambra, and it's again, it's a full day of training. So save that day for June 16th. And if you can, send your staff for those jurisdictions that can send them. It's good. We usually try to cover inspections, plan check, even permit tech courses. So be on the lookout in the next week or two. We'll be sending out the flyers for that, and register if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And after that, we'll pass it on to our treasurer.
Hi, everybody. We currently have about 13,279 and 2 cents in the bank account. So we still have some membership fees that we need to collect. So just a friendly reminder, if we sent you the invoice already, please respond to that. I will also be sending another set of reminders to you. So if you have any questions, just feel free to send me an email and we'll take care of it.
Thank you, Jovi. And next we have Perla, our secretary.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to share our scholarship opportunity that's coming up. So we will be, or LA Basin chapter will be providing 2 $500 scholarships for students that are either currently enrolled or that are accepted to enroll in a building and safety or constructed related major or field. We'll be sharing that flyer via email soon as well. So feel free to share it with whoever you think might be interested or that could benefit from the opportunity.
All right, great. Thank you. And next will be Louis, our past president.
I'd like to share the news about our Building and Safety Month joint meeting, which will be in May. Come out and connect with neighboring chapters. It'll be a lunch, and we have it at Luminaries Restaurant in Monterey Park. Enjoy some good food, connect with your colleagues, and strain some relationships. Look out for that flyer. It'll be sent out soon.
All right, thank you, Louis. And next on our agenda, we have our committee reports. Let's see if we have anyone attending from our admin committee.
I don't know if Farouk is here, but if he's not, I can probably give an update for the admin committee.
Yes, if you could, Mike, that would be great.
Sure. So Farouk, he's also from the city of Los Angeles. He chairs that committee. And the last meeting was March 11th. In that meeting, they discussed things like the CAL FIRE, the single exit stairs for apartment buildings. Also on the agenda was aging in place. I know for me, I was familiar with aging in place, but they actually went through the requirements and seeing what other jurisdictions are doing. And what's interesting about the committee itself is we had Ron, I think from Long Beach. He brought up the SB9 requirements with sprinklers and just wanted to get like the temperature of what all the other cities are doing. So it's a very interesting committee. I highly advise if you guys have the time to join in the conversation as well, see what other cities are doing. Thank you. Sorry, our next meeting is going to be, or for the admin committee, it's April. So it's the second Wednesday, so I believe it's the 8th of April.
Yes, and yeah, anyone that hasn't signed up, please do email any of us, and we'll definitely put you in touch so you can attend that meeting. It's definitely helpful, ongoing issues and questions that we all have, and it's also an open forum, so please join. And next we have our Fire Life Safety Committee. If we have Joseph or Raphael on.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. So the only update I have currently is I was working with Jovi and Joseph. We're trying to set up a meeting for next month. We want to start inviting other fire departments to attend these meetings. So the one next month is just going to be kind of like an introductory one, kind of reintroduce ourselves, and then allow other fire departments to introduce themselves as well. And just kind of talk about topics we're bringing forward this year. We're trying to do one monthly or bi-monthly. So we already have great topics lined up, and it would be great to have engagement from some of the cities that we already have here to have their fire departments join us. I know I've seen City of Santa Monica, City of Glendale on here. So I know they have their own fire departments. So I'm working with Jovi to send out an invitation flyer to invite fire departments, and building officials are welcome as well, because some items do, cross between fire and building. But for now, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. And next, our inspection committee, if we have James on to provide an update, or Jim, sorry. Nope, okay. So we'll go ahead and move on to our committee, our organizational reports. So first, ICC, Karen. Do we have Karen? So yeah, Karen wasn't able to join us. So Calvo, I don't know if Raj or Lauren.
Lauren.
Hello, I'm filling in for Raj today. Thank you so much for the invite. And I'm just going to run down a few upcoming events for us that I thought might be of interest to your members. First of all, we are heading to Santa Clara for our 64th annual business meeting. That'll be April 12th through the 16th. So registration does close on April 2nd. So that's coming up pretty soon. We only have a few spots for golf left. So that's most important if you want to participate in that four-leaf tradition. Go ahead and head to our website and do that as soon as possible. The highlights include we have keynote speaker Chief Michael O'Brien of Brighton, Michigan. We've got AI programming, wildfire prepared communities, and the state of California housing market. And the following 3 years, this might be more of interest to you guys. We're heading back to Southern California to our semi-permanent home in Indian Wells. So that'll be the following 3 years. Also within Calvo, we've launched a new platform called Calvo On Demand. Some of you might have browsed the courses or taken a few. They're all ICC approved from code to professional development topics. So you can train on your own time, on your own pace. You get access for 1 year from data purchase. So after you take the course, you can go back and rewatch and peruse, for some updates. So that's available now. And what's also coming to you soon is a new member portal, similar to the software updates you guys go through and the constant improvements for technology. We're doing that as well. And you know how much work that is. So we're really excited to bring you that new portal that connects to our new on-demand system where you can manage your registration, see past courses, download transcripts, access past materials, all of that in one hub. So we're really excited to share that with you coming up in April. So to keep a lookout for that, you will have to create a login, but we promise to make it seamless. We have tutorial videos and we're here to support you if you want to call or email us. So next off, I wanted to highlight the Virtual Career Expo. It's an annual tradition we normally host during the Building Safety Month, but it's going to be a little early. So our Calvo Professional Engagement Committee hosts it with Diablo Valley College, where we create breakout rooms for students within the college and those within California looking for a career in building safety. We're always looking for volunteers to work within those individual breakout rooms. So if you'd like to volunteer, many of you do. We really appreciate that. The volunteer sign up form is on our website, along with if you'd like to attend to explore career opportunities and resources, that registration link is on our website as well. And we also have something new that you might want to take a look at and share within your jurisdiction. We have something called the Cal Career Resource Hub, where we've actually created downloadable PDF flyers highlighting what a permit tech does, a plans examiner, and an inspector, along with how to find certification opportunities within ICC, videos about what each of those entail. So it gives a comprehensive overview for each of those building department personnel roles to make it easy for you to reach out to those interested in building and safety, but also those looking for career advancement in your department. So it's a one-stop shop. We hope you love it. Give us feedback and let us know if you'd like anything to be added as well. We're always looking for new resources. We have the Building Official Leadership Academy coming to Sacramento during Building Safety Month, May 4th through the 8th. The registration deadline is closing tomorrow, but if you aren't able to get it in, we might be able to accept some late applications, so don't panic. Let me know if you are interested and want to submit a late registration. It's our annual leadership program. Many of you have attended, including your past president, Louis, who can attest to just the dynamic opportunities that are available within that within networking, mentorship, and also professional development, career advancement. It's one of my favorites. I always love helping CTI host it. So I hope if you are interested, go ahead and go on our website and download that packet. We are alternating between the north and the south. So if you can't make it to Sacramento, we'll be taking BOLA to Southern California and Costa Mesa next year in May. So keep a lookout for that. We do have a wait list going. So if you'd like to be added, so you know exactly when that packet's available, when information's available, I reach out to you directly if you're on that list. We also have, for Building Safety Month, the CalBO Leadership and Advocacy Day, that if you are admitted into BOLA, you do participate. But if you're not, you can still sign up. It's free opportunity for members to come to Sacramento for the day to meet with your state legislators, talk about what you do within building and safety, and offer yourself as a resource. So don't worry if you don't have any legislative experience, that's not required. We're not going to ask you to directly talk about specific bills necessarily, but we're there to meet with our legislators to talk about CalBO, what you do in your building department, and the importance of upholding building and safety. We've seen many bills impacting our departments recently. So this opportunity is more important than ever to get out and to identify who you are and what you do and the importance of maybe not legislating code. I didn't say that out loud. So wink, wink. So it is made available for you to come in and out. You don't need an overnight. You can just fly in and fly out that same day. We set up all the appointments. Again, it's free. So hopefully you can join us this year. And it's every year in Sacramento, we do host this free member opportunity. And lastly, I wanted to highlight, we have CalBO webinars coming up in the spring and summer, along with a free member opportunity under the CalBO Industry Spotlight Series. So we're collaborating with Clarity SipCheck to offer a free AI webinar coming up in April. It's April 1st, so that's free for anyone that'd like to join us. You'd register on our website. Pre-registration is required, but super easy. And we have other opportunities such as accessibility, building code, permit tech topics, etc. before our education weeks launch for the fall. I think that's pretty much it. I take a lot of your time, so I appreciate the opportunity to invite, and I'm here for any questions. You can reach out to us at any time. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, lots of great information. It sounds like there's definitely a lot of training available through CalBO, so definitely look at that. Lots of good, useful information. And next, we have the California Energy Commission.
Hello, everyone. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Sure. Thank you. All right. So real fast. So my name is Gagandeep Randhawa. I work for Outreach and Education Unit for Building Standards Branch for California Energy Commission. And here's my email address if you want any kind of training or any resource or anything. So please reach out to me because I'm a liaison for this chapter. So. And then for the business meeting, so on February 11th, we approved another compliance software, which is IES.
Do they have? Are you telling them to schedule specifically with you, or just whoever's there?
No, you can reach out to me if you want any training, or you can reach out to our hotline anytime. So it's up to you guys. Should I continue? Okay. So we approved another compliance software, which is Integrated Environmental Solutions Virtual Environment with IESVE 2025.1.1 for non-residential buildings, and there were some few local ordinances for town of Corte Madera. And on March 12th, we approved AHAM bathroom exhaust fan testing and certification program, which includes one of the AHAM verified mark as an alternative procedure under section 10-109H under 2025 Energy Code. And the next business meetings are on April 8th and 27th. And then again, just a reminder for compliance softwares for 2025 Energy Code, please use these software which are mentioned here. These are up to date. CBAC 2025.2.0, Energy Pro 10.0 for non-residential, multifamily, and single family. And for new construction single family buildings only, you can use Right Energy Title 24 version 25.2.0. And like I mentioned, for new construction non-residential buildings, so we approved IESVE 2025.1.1. And if you have any question regarding these softwares, please reach out to cbec@energy.ca.gov for non-residential multifamily. And for residential questions, please contact cbec.res@energy.ca.gov. All right. So for 2025 energy code, so we keep on updating our web page for 2025 energy code. So it includes all our, of course, energy code language, and then reference appendices, compliance manuals, softwares, forms, and also restructured code, which I'm going to talk on next slide. So we are seeking public comment on restructured 2025 energy code. So we reorganizing to group related requirements together. We are renumbering the sections for easier navigation, and so it's just a resource for feedback only. It's not official yet, but you can submit your comments on this docket. So it's linked to on this slide. So the comments are due by May 26th of this year. And we are also providing a 30-minute training for this restructured code. Please reach out to me if you guys want a training on this. And then for 2020 energy code, yeah, we are already working on this. So if please reach out and visit this web page. So we have the CBEC 28.0.1 RV version available for you to try. And then, of course, our energy code hotline. So you can, click on this hotline submission form. You can fill out this form and provide us with as much information as you can, and so we can reach out back to you. And then we have sports center. So the new thing which we are doing on this one, so we are uploading frequently asked questions. So like for like you can see on the top one, it's accessory dwelling units, commercial kitchens, controlled environmental horticulture. So instead of so we are collecting all the questions we got on our hotline or blueprint newsletter or whatever we have in compliance manual. So we are putting them together. So you don't have to go here and there. So you can open one of these frequently asked questions. So you'll find all these information in there. So please take a look and let us know if you like it or we need some more improvement in there. Then blueprints newsletter. So we I think in a week or so, we will be uploading our new blueprint newsletter. So you can subscribe to this one by clicking on it. So whenever we release it, you will get an email. So again, so in this blueprint newsletter, so we try to include all the question and answers, whatever the questions we receive on hotline. We try to answer those ones in here and clarify all these. And then events. So we were at Energy Code ACE conference, which we exhibited a booth over there. And on 3/11, we provided a training for Calbo on 2025 multi-family changes. So next month, we will be at the Calbo ABM. So please come. I will be there on 15. So please come and say hi to me over there. And then for local energy code, please reach out to localenergycodes.com. And for these are all the local rents, so please reach out to their website. So they have a lot of resources and online trainings as well. And then Energy Code is so they have been releasing all these new fact sheets as well. So what's new for 2025, what's changed, so all those. So please take a look at those as well. And then they released a newsletter as well, which is bi-monthly. It is called The Scoop. It is like our a blueprint newsletter, and they provide free trainings as well. I guess that is it from my side. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And next, Dave from Energy Code ACE.
Yeah, thanks so much, and appreciate that great segue into what we offer. It's always nice to follow the CEC because we do aim to support the work that they do directly and coordinate with them. So, and again, thanks to the CEC for being at the Energy Code ACE conference a couple weeks ago, and thanks to everyone from the LA chapter who attended, especially our building inspector and plans examiner workshops that we hosted during the conference. We had over 250 people there, including a keynote by Commissioner McAllister from the Energy Commission, which was really fantastic. So thanks everyone for your support of a really successful event. So a few things I wanted to highlight that'll be most relevant to you all, and I'll just do a quick screen share to provide an overview of some of these things. So I don't know if everyone's aware, but we've released our plans examiner and building inspector checklists for the 2025 Energy Code. Still working on the permit tech checklists. Those will be coming out very soon, but these are a great resource for your building department staff. And it's worth noting that the plans examiner form is an interactive form. So as you click on which types of elements of the project are in scope, it will populate what forms need to be checked through the plan check process. And we have them both for non-res multifamily as well as single family. And then for the building inspector checklists, this really helps to lay out based on the project scope what types of certificates are required to be supplied by the project team, whether it's installation forms, acceptance or verification, and it just really kind of easily in a just a few pages helps the inspector quickly navigate what forms to look for. And those are available on our website. If you go under buildings, resources, and checklists, it'll bring it up. So, you can also filter by the code vintage. So here you can filter for 2025 code, which is the current code, obviously, but you can also go back if it's particularly for an inspection. If it's a earlier code vintage, you can get those forms there, and also filtered by occupancy type, etc. A few new fact sheets we want to highlight, just released today, actually hot off the presses, is our single family HVAC systems fact sheet. A lot of great information, both for new construction as well as retrofits in terms of baselines, control requirements, etc. We also have our non-res multifamily acceptance testing was recently released. Our envelope for non-res fact sheet. Non-res mechanical systems was released about a month ago, and solar and battery were released right at the end of the year for non-res as well as single family. So those are important to check out. And then I also just wanted to highlight that in May, we'll be having a couple of online trainings, non-res and multifamily standards for plans examiners on May 13th and 14th. And then June 3rd and 4th, we have the non-res standards for building inspectors. These have all been updated for the current code for 2025. And those are accessible if you go, under buildings to live trainings, and that'll take you to the page. You can either do a calendar view or you can do a list view and filter based on current code, type of training, etc., or just type in, the type of training you want in our search field. Sorry. Building inspector, and that will filter for you. So a lot of great stuff. Hopefully you all check it out. Don't forget to, you always have the option to access our help desk if there's a question that you have that you don't see answered anywhere else on our site, like in our Q&As or on our fact sheets. So thanks again for using the program, and reach out to me at any time with any questions.
All right, thanks, Dave. And next up, I don't believe we have anybody from CIOSC today, but that is something that we're working on. So you can definitely expect in the future a CIOSC representative providing an update as well. And moving on to any other ICC local chapters. I didn't think we had any, but if there's any other chapters that would like to provide an update on their upcoming meetings. If not, we'll go ahead and get started on our training. So our training today is being presented by Shan Sindor, and it's basically going over technology, how to empower local government using technology, AI, and just everything that's coming in that's not going away. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to Shan.
Thank you, Guillermo. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, great, great. Let me share my screen. How is everyone doing with the heat and with everything going on in our world?
Good, good. Staying inside is helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me just open the slideshow. Okay, great. Okay. Guillermo, if anybody asks questions or whatever, so you can stop me or raise your hand. So first of all, thank you, Guillermo, for pulling us in at the last minute. So I'm glad that we were able to join this, and I want to thank. We got involved with Calbo through Victor from Los Angeles, City of LA, Mike Wright, and then people like Bob Heinrich, who really believe in the virtual assistant we are doing, and then John Ramirez, who's been involved in our company, who's a CDD director in Norwalk, performer. So thank you. I think there are a lot of myth about AI or what technology can do, and so what we are doing is, so this is me. My background is I used to work in Fortune 500 companies, and then started this. And one of the things I always notice is that technology come along, some new technology, and then the business folks have a need, and the techie people, I call them techie people, come and they speak a different language. And the bridge has always been missing. What the business folks need and how the technology folks can enable instead of forcing the technology on any entity. That's been my background. And the last thing I want to say before I move away from the slide is that these are all my knowledge, whatever I'm going to share, my perception, and it's not gospel truth. Okay, so I'm going to share whatever I learned throughout. I travel, work with places like Dubai, Singapore, and all that stuff. So I want to share what all is going on everywhere. But again, it's my perception and knowledge. I just want to say that. And you can ask me questions anytime. I want this to be an interactive session. And you can also wait till the end. Any questions so far? Anything anybody wants to ask? Great. Elephant in the room. There are a lot of conversations about different technology which come along, right? I just want to put it out there so people can add to this elephant in the room, right? What is really stopping us or bothering us or whatever, right? Embracing new technology has always been a problem. If you look at online payments, when online payments came along through Amazon or whatever, how many of us or how many of our parents were comfortable putting the credit card information online? Very few. I was not comfortable, and I'm a technology-based person. I was not comfortable. Now, I open Google or Amazon, there are 10 of my credit cards. Which one do you want to use? So we are so comfortable. It just takes time for us to embrace it, right? So that's an example. Same with AI, right? So one of the things I talk about is that people started laughing when I started talking about this. As human species, we think that we are the only one we have intelligence, right? So whoever called this artificial intelligence, I think they did a disservice to us. And as soon as we see intelligence, we get concerned, right? Combine that with all the Hollywood movies of Terminator, I, Robot, The Creator, which is one of the latest movies, Her, et cetera, et cetera. So we are worried, oh, it's going to take over, it's going to do this, it's going to, we're going to be, it's going to outsmart us and things like that. Is there a truth to it? Maybe. But what we are trying to do in business environment, we shouldn't worry about it. So I'll talk about it, and what if instead of calling it artificial intelligence, somebody called it Web 4.0? Would we have this kind of resistance or reaction? I wonder, I always wonder. Now, concerns we talked about, fear of AI taking over or losing our jobs, is that going to happen? I think some jobs are going to go away. It's not going to go away. It's going to be done by something else so we can focus on, the things which are most important. And then other concern is providing wrong information. It's a liability. It starts hallucinating and things like that, right? So those are a concern. So I want to open up to the floor and ask you guys, what are the other concerns or what are the challenges you have embracing some simple AI virtual assistant technology? Anybody? Guillermo, you want to say, or anybody else?
I think I would say probably one of the biggest challenges is, getting employees and staff kind of bought in. Like you said, there's some fear of,
Mhm.
what it's going to do, how predictable it is. So I think that's definitely an overall concern that I've seen.
Yeah, accepting is what you're saying. Okay, getting on board. Okay. Anybody else, please? Any other concern?
Sean,
Yeah, go ahead.
this is
Yes.
Gabriel. I think with technology changing so fast, some of the challenges are getting the proper training for the fields because there's so much different types of AI. What really applies to you, how to best harness it and use it for your applications.
Yeah, which one to choose, right? There's so many things floating around. Hi, Gabriel. Good to see you. Um, so that is another. Yeah, got it. Okay. Any other concern? Anything else?
I
Anybody
would,
else?
this is
I have a
Joseph Human. One of the, maybe not a concern, but one of the things that I see is an overdependency or a reliance on what AI is producing for its result or answer, and it being something that may not be a past practice for the current department.
Whether
I
it
can
is
share my
provide.
concern from the city of Calabasas. I have a question or a statement. I tried to raise my hand there. Did you see it?
I just see it now. Sparky, hi Sparky, go ahead.
My primary concern and my warning to every building department that may be participating in this meeting, and my warning to Calbo, and I contacted them when I found out about this meeting, is to be very, very cautious with prospective vendors and prospective companies that might be coming in and claiming to being able to help you with AI, with promises of the moon to provide you services and maybe better help you use AI to your department's benefit. Companies that might only have one, maybe two clients that they can show you that they've worked with, but yet there's no real way to vet these companies until you're in too deep and you've been taken advantage of. I can share some really horrible stories
Thank you,
about a
Sparky.
company. I can share some real horrible stories of companies we got involved with in 2008, and it was a 10-year ordeal before we finally figured out how to better use new technology. So this is all fair and well. We're talking about AI in general, but we're not talking about how we can actually take advantage of it and who can help us take advantage of it.
Got it. Sparky, thank you. So basically what you're saying is make sure you vet the vendors or vet the companies before you get involved. Is that that's the message I'm getting, Sparky?
That's half of it.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Guillermo, you wanted to add something? I heard you talk.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
please go ahead.
Okay. Who else? Anybody else? Any other concern? Any other comment? Okay. Great.
This I just added in the chat. This is Anthony from Culver City. On top of what Sparky kind of started about vendors being vetted, they're overpromising, maybe under delivering just to get into this market and try to get in on the ground floor. Also the expense, the reliability, the support, future updates and how it continues, and compatibility with your existing software.
Got it. Yeah. How the vendor keep up with the technology and what is going on and keeping up with the compatibility with other software. That's what I'm hearing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, great. So there's one more place I will ask about what you really are looking for and things like that. Again, this is a knowledge sharing. And I want to talk about the power of AI in even our own normal life, right? So there was a professor from Harvard University. He is building the AI for Dubai, right? So one of the examples he talked about, I thought that would be very useful to share here. That he had some health issues, and he goes to his doctor, and the doctor says, "Go do these tests, and come back after 2 weeks after all the test results are there." All right. So he does the test, and then he fed the test results to a private chat GPT or whatever he uses. And it came back with 4 options. He can use four different solutions. And so he reads that and he takes the whole thing to his doctor. And his doctor, who's number 1 in Boston, and he looks at it and he says, "I know these 2 options. There are other 2 options. There's 3rd and 4th. I don't know." Okay. But then after reading that, he says, "I'm going to do the 4th option," which he was not familiar. He's a very experienced doctor. And now, what this AI expert said, if my doctor was not open to these, because he's an expert, he has done so many of them, he's been very successful. But in the medical field, every minute, every second, there's some new technology coming up, new research, new solutions, and new clinical studies or whatever. And so then what he said was, this AI person, expert, even in your life, there are key players who are there. your doctor, your accountant, your financial advisor, your attorney, if they are not embracing AI, seriously think about whether you want to continue to work with them. Because that is where it's not going to solve your problem. It gives you more options. And I think somebody said here, it may not be accurate. I mean, I can tell you my own thing. I had to pick a healthcare plan, and I did some AI thing, and it gave me so much information. So when I spoke to the insurance company, I was more knowledgeable. Out of the 100% of the information I got, 80% was accurate. And the insurance agent said, "Oh my gosh, where did you get this? I'm going to use that," things like that. So again, it just helps. It is not going to solve your problem. It just helps. That is the basic thing I want to tell you. And the man from Harvard University said, "It's here to stay. Get on the train." I mean, I'm probably preaching the choir. It's old information, but get on the train in some areas of our lives, or to make our life easier, or you're going to be left behind. And I think it's important to really. So I'm going to ask a question. How many of us use AI now for something? When you go to Google, there's an AI. Either you go to Gemini pops up, or Copilot in Microsoft. Is anybody in this room don't use AI at all?
I, for one, am using it every day.
Was this Sparky?
Yeah, every day. In my building and safety life, I use it every day.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah. So that's the way it's going, Sparky. Everybody is using it. And initially I had my own issues. Oh, do I want to do this? It's going to hallucinate and da 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 da. But if we can localize the data, not look at the worldwide data, but localize to your city, it's only for your city's data only it's going to look at. It's not going to hallucinate. Okay. When you feed millions and billions or trillions of data, then that's when it doesn't know. There could be 3 Glendales in the world. It doesn't know which one to pick. So anybody else who is not using or using it?
I know with a lot of the search engines, AI has been incorporated as a means of producing an answer. So naturally, it is. Majority of people are becoming familiarized with the responses that AI is giving, and I believe it's a good starting point to draw conclusions.
It's a good starting point for research.
Yeah, there you go.
Agreed.
Get the general information out there, and it gives you such a good head start.
Exactly.
Now you can start your research.
Yeah. Well said, Sparky, because the research you're talking about, even what document even to go look at, this gives you. So that's a good point to research. And I can tell you another story. In one of our cities, the public complained about pavement. When is my pavement going to be done? Okay. And the city manager, the city's assistant city manager, has to write a letter back to the resident they're complaining. And in the past, it took him more than a day to collect all the data and put all these things and then write a letter. Then he goes to ChatGPT or whatever he uses, and he plugged in that information, and it came back with a letter. And he's told me after that, it took only 30 minutes to manipulate, massage the letter, because he did all the research and wrote the letter. Okay. And he has to put correct the data and things like that. And I think that's brilliant, right? So instead of taking a full day and staff is trying to look at information for you and things like that. So great. Any other comments for the slide? Any other questions? Great. Let me move on to this. Again, this is where I would really love your participation. We talked about top concerns, but from a virtual assistant or whatever, internally or externally. Internally for your own plan review engineers or permit technicians and the building officials, what's a must-have which this can provide? Can somebody, I think Sparky already said it's a good research tool. And what else is a must-have?
I think most jurisdictions would want to make sure that it's focused to their jurisdiction. You know, if we're talking about something that's specific to community development or building safety, making sure that it's something that's accurate to what we're doing in our city.
Got it. That's a must-have. Okay.
Why are these questions being asked?
Who's this? Sparky?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just want to know. I just want to understand. This is a training. I just want to understand what people have. They may have. No, this is one need we really have. We must have this if you're using that. So that is why I'm asking this question, Sparky. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a concern about compliance. This is Steve from City of Burbank, and we are about to implement the Ask Burbank. And we had a meeting with you, Sean.
Okay.
So my concern, and I'm going to be the project manager for the upcoming deployment.
Okay. Okay.
My concern is our citizens. They want to know if they are safe. Their data, you know, since we're going to access, and they're going to be accessing their information through the Ask Burbank, the virtual assistants. Are we going to be compliant with government? Are we going to be telling them your data is safe? This sort of things is kind of my concern. And I like the tools, and pretty much my entire Burbank teams for the websites are happy to deploy this. But it's just my concern is I want to know how much of we're going to be in a compliant and safe for privacy and compliance and these sorts of things.
Yeah.
So
So privacy and safe, what you're saying, what is a must-have for you is privacy, maybe cybersecurity is what I'm hearing in a way.
Yes.
And safety, right? Safety of the data and okay. Yeah, got it. So that's a must-have for you. Great. Anybody else? Okay. I mean, it's nice to have. We can skip it. If there is anything else you want to add to this, it's an open discussion. You can always ask me at the end, you know, in the Q&A session. Okay, great. Okay. So what we found is that, who's this? Somebody said something? Okay. I can't hear. Somebody's talking. Guillermo, you can hear that person?
Yeah, sometimes I'll go ahead and mute people. Sometimes it's just background noise. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. So, you know, I think somebody's asking a question. Huh? Okay. I'll continue. Okay. So, disconnect between, there's a disturbance. Somebody's talking in the background. If you're not asking a question, can you please mute? Great. So, you know, one thing which great happened in the last so many years is that cities have made major investments in collecting and storing information, right? Like a data capture and storage from various resources, right? So whether it is through They scanned it, they put it on Laserfish or Documentum or open all these different document FileNet document imaging systems are there, and they also pulled permit information, plan reviews, scan the plans. Everything has been collected. Okay, it's a great job, but it is difficulty in finding the information. Whether it is a permit related information, plan review, inspections, property records. Especially for real estate agents. And delays in responding to public record requests, right? So we live in an instant, gratification generation, whether we like it or not. The social media, the Instagram, and all that, right? Let us say, Gabe, you and I are sitting at a coffee shop on a Saturday. I'm picking you, Gabe, if you're there. Are you there, Gabe?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we are having coffee at some place in let us say in Santa Monica, right? And I know you're a Lakers fan, and you say, hey, when is the next Lakers game, or when is the next playoff game for Lakers? And we immediately Google that. It's on a Saturday, and we find it, right? And let's say you are in Santa Monica, and building official or CDD director, and then I asked my contractor calls me up, hey, your water heater has to be changed. And then I ask you, do I need a permit for this in my city? And you go like, oh, I don't know whether, call the city on Monday. So that's a disconnect, right? So we're not giving the information right away. And is there a way to give that information even on a weekend, even on, off hours and immediately? And that has been the challenge, whether it is, responding to the public record request. And I said, growing expectation from public for instant service, right? And there are limited resources. It's so difficult to get. That's what I hear from a lot of cities. Hire people, budget constraints, and things like that. And combine that with COVID became a silver lining in a way. Cities began reducing the foot traffic to the city hall for the safety and all that. So the challenge is being solved now. So there is virtual assistant, right? So there are a lot of virtual assistants. There are a lot of them are coming up, and I just want to tell you also in this meeting, I'm not going to talk about planned review, AI and planned review process. This is not what this is all about. Okay, it is about providing simple answers, providing the right link, like Sparky said, give the resource, a research, and that's what this is. Bunch of cities are using locally, and what we found out after doing some research on 10 different cities, 50% of the public requests are all permit related. Permit or zoning related. That's what people ask in the public request, and that should be given right away. That way, this city staff can focus on, I don't want to say better things, but their job, right? And this is what bridges the gap between residents and the city officials. And the vision is, I don't know how much is doable in a lot of cities here in our country, is 95% self-serve, meaning even if all the permits or whatever we do, business license, if we can do 80 or 90% of that self-serve, so they can get it. For example, somebody asks, do I need a permit for garbage disposal? And he said, comes back and say, yeah, and this is the dollar amount is this, click here, this is your permit, sign and go, right? As long as it doesn't require plan review and things like that, right? And this is a tools, need to be any tool you get, it need to be budget conscious and time efficient, right? One of the things is AQMD has a grant now for, I think, around $10,000 a year. Some of the cities which are using this make use of that grant for reducing the foot traffic to the city hall. Anything, that's that. Any questions, any comments? Yeah, go ahead, Sparky.
Sundar, you mentioned a $10,000 grant.
Yeah.
Would that be through the state of California or?
AQMD, yeah, state of California. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sparky. Yeah. So how can the technology help? It can summarize the data from multiple sources, like permit data, ordinance data, zoning data. It's all combined and give you the answer. Like somebody said, it can summarize, right? Assist with building inspections, finding the right building code violations, and this is my favorite thing, because people have asked me, contractor history, let's say I live in Redondo Beach and I want to do an addition to my house, for example. If I want to do that, and this contractor is telling me I worked on 5 projects in Redondo Beach in the last 2 years, these similar projects. How do I do a reference check on that contractor, right? I call the city, and city is open only on Monday through whatever, Friday. Some cities are open on Fridays, and then they have to go through their thing and get back to me and whatnot. But if something like this can go through your permitting system or whatever you have data, and it can come back online and say, you know what, this contractor has done 5 projects. The size of the project is this. This is the project he has done, he or she, and there you go, right? So that kind of information, right, it can give real estate agent. I want to know the permit and the violation history when they're selling a property. It can give you that, and expand the hour of operation to 24/7. So one thing I'll share with you, the local city here, one of the cities, they closed down the city for 2 weeks during Christmas holidays. So the city manager called me up and said, hey, Sean, I want to open the voice agent. So I want main number wants to go to the voice agent, right? So for 2 weeks, we opened it up. And the result was 80% of a lot of people called the city around that time, and 80% of the people are satisfied. It's even told what questions they asked, what it gave. And so it could be, I always say this, right? Let us say you have one resource in your office, in your department, who is so knowledgeable, or maybe a couple of them, one in city clerk's office, one in the permit counter, right? They can find the information anywhere. They know where to go find it. They know where to go, right? But what if they call in sick, or what if, and they work only 8 to 5 or whatever, right? And what if somebody's calling after hours, on weekends, they want that information? So let's say, it's not possible. So this is like an extension of that person, if you want to look at it that way. If the person's name is, let's say, Debbie or Bob, it is virtual Bob or virtual Debbie, and you can open this voice agent only during the time you want it to open. Okay, like it could be after 5 o'clock, before 8 o'clock in the morning, on Saturday and Sunday. So then you don't need to worry about, during the office hours and things like that. And it's multilingual, so which we all know. So you can ask me any questions anytime, but I'm just going through what is all possible, right? What is all possible with technology like this, how it can help the building official, the community development department, the plan review engineer. So I'm going to go through an internal stuff also a little bit. Okay, so internal system, right? Let us say you want to look at all the inspections or whatever, so you just open it up. And then what if on your system itself, there's a virtual assistant, right? So you can click on virtual assistant. Like, in Google or in ChatGPT, it says, ask anything. This is like that, ask anything, right? On the data or beyond the data for that system or the city. What if you are in a, let's say, business license system or a permitting system and people want to know something else? You can ask that. It's going to search everything else, right? So some of the sample questions which are related to community development departments are, when you ask that question, so it's how many garage conversions approved in the last 12 months? We just came up with some questions, right? Average time to issue a permit in the last quarter. project valuation for permits in January 2026, right? What percentage of minor plan checks completed? Some cities really want to know, last 2 weeks, how many percent, what percentage? One CDD director I know, John, he used to say, I want 95% of the minor plan checks completed in 2 weeks time. Like 95% should be completed. And what is the code for new Cal Green requirement? So you can ask these questions when your internal system, when you're looking at that, right? And one of the sample answers can be, these are all samples, prototype, right? Garage conversions. It can say we have approved 148 garage conversions. This is what is possible. In a regular system, this is not possible, all right? It's very difficult. You got to go to create a dashboard and things like that, right? I truly believe, this is again, my perception, right? I truly believe this AI thing is, probably Sparky will agree with me. It's like a super chip, which looks at all the information, gives you what you want to see, okay? It's like a super chip you have never imagined that's possible, okay? So it can look at thousands, millions and millions and millions of data and then come back with, these are the 4 things, man. This is what you're looking for, okay? Go. Do you want me to create a report for you? Boom. So that is what is possible. Okay, these are the sample internal systems, right? What all can be done. I'm going to go to now. This is for residents and contractors, right? So whether it is through an online, I'll play some videos. Whether it is online or voice agent, you can say, how do I apply for an ADU permit online? What is the status of my permits or plan review? And Guillermo, thank you for giving me some of these questions. What are the requirements for resubmitting corrected plans, right? Does my project require plan review? What information do I need to submit? These are the things people are always, permit counter is always getting these calls, okay? What if it guides them? Like, I think, Sparky, you said like a research, it's a research tool. So what if it guides them? Why? Yeah, you need this for applying for ADU permit online, right? Then you can take it from there. So human don't need to be involved. And then this is, I'm going to play this. I'm going to share, how do I do this? There is a volume. I need to, there you go, share sound. Okay. Can you see a blank screen? So I stopped it. So it's just a video. It's not a real thing, but it's captured from the real thing. It's a video. I just, for the sake of time, it's a sample. So let me just play this like a minute or so. Okay, next screen. So this was just a sample. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay. So that was the online portion. I'm going to play a sample voice. These are all possible, right? Sample voice agent. So I'm just going to play. I don't know, John Ramirez is still on the line, but this is his voice. He asked questions. So I'll just play this. It's a very small.
Hello, this is Ask Whittier. How can I help you today?
I live at 11506 Sierra Sky Drive. When is my trash pickup?
Okay, so Republic Services handles trash pickup on the east side of Whittier, and Athens Services handles it on the west side. The dividing line is Ocean View Avenue. Since you live on Sierra Sky Drive, that's on the east side. So Republic Services is your provider. Their number is 800-299-4898. Do you have any other questions about Whittier?
No, thank you.
Okay, great. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, thanks.
Okay.
Oops. Where did it go? Sure. Current slide. Okay. This is permit-related information.
Hello, this is Ask Malibu. How can I help you today?
Am I required to get a permit for a party at my home?
Yeah, so if you're having a large event or an event with a commercial component, you'll need a special event permit. A large event is like 100 people or more. Commercial component that includes renting the house for the event, advertising, or fundraising. Does that answer your question?
Yes. I have another question, though.
Okay, great. What's your other question about Malibu?
Does Malibu have a rent control law?
Okay, so Malibu only has rent regulations for mobile homes, you know? So, like, if you're renting a property that's not a mobile home in a mobile home park, then California law is what applies. Did you need any more info on that?
No, not right now. I can call back.
Okay,
I
great.
do have another question.
Okay, great. What's your other question?
Who do I contact to inspect my septic system?
Okay, you can find a city registered inspector or other registered practitioners like designers, maintenance providers, and installers. Does that help?
Do you have any specific phone numbers for anybody, or?
No, I don't have specific numbers, but you can find a list of those inspectors on the city website. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's all. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm happy I could help. Enjoy your day in Malibu.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm glad I could assist. Thank you for using Ask.
So, okay. Two things I want to talk about here is that you can change the voice of the. I mean, it sounded so. When I saw it, it was so real. She sounds real. It could be any voice, any tone. You know, if it is a friendly city, it can be a different tone. It could be a very proper city. It could be a different tone. You can tell this voice agent, hey, you know, like that, and it's multilingual. And so it's pretty powerful. And we are also working on, if you want information on text, it can text it to you, and we're even giving the link if we need to give, and things like that. Any questions so far on these two? Oops. Okay, yeah. Any questions? Any comments? Hello? Anybody?
I do actually. I have a question. For the AI voice agent, what type of software did you guys use in order to create the options for the AI voice agent to answer the question? Did you have to create a script in Python or just like a normal a large language in order to put the answers, or how do you guys I guess manipulate the AI voice agent? That's my question.
Yeah. That's a great question. You know, I was so tempted to have my product manager on this call. I I don't know. I know one thing is that cities give even the greetings. This is what I wanted to say. The agent name is Lily. The agent name should be Debbie or whatever. So we program it. I don't know. If we can, get your information through Guillermo, we can get back and tell you, share that information with you. Sorry
Okay,
about
thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
So I do have one last question, and
Yes, Sparky.
the purpose of this educational program was my understanding it was just to provide information.
Yeah.
But is the purpose of this program also to market your company?
No, sir. No, it's not. No. Good question. No.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Guillermo.
again,
Go ahead.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, and that was a fair and useful question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was definitely, yeah, to kind of look at what AI technology can do overall. Obviously the subject matter expert, does have their own service, but just overall is what the technology is the focus on. So just how it can help cities, governments, plan reviewers, everyone, just free up time, and how it's scalable, and how it can assist all of our jurisdictions. So that was the main point. Yeah, if we could move on to
Yeah.
how AI is useful and that technology in
Yeah.
our building departments.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. I think the reason I've been speaking at this, there are a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, a lot of um, things have been talked about, right? So I try to share whatever I know, and in the process we give a sample, and it is not at all an intention to market a company or whatever. Great. So a typical AI agent, voice agent, it's like I talked about. It's scalable and secure, and 24/7 City Hall, and reduce the staff workload. Okay. And I think Gabe brought up there are so many AI tools, which one to use for what, right? This is a time to combine with the question just asked. Let us say, our own company, right? Our own department. There is a HR department. There is a community development department. There is a code enforcement under the CDD or public safety. All of them have different products they use. Okay, there's not one product which is being used for the entire city or entire company, right? There are different softwares or different physical tools and different things we use. And so there is no one answer. There's no one AI which is going to solve everything what a city needs. You may have to do for a public safety, it could be a different one. For plan review, like we just talked about, plan review, there's so much of AI coming on in the plan review world, right? And will that solve the plan review process? I don't think it's going to solve the plan review. When I say solve, make it a lot more efficient, and you don't need to, look at the whole thing and stuff like that. And because we have so much regulations in our country, we can't tell people like Singapore can say only CAD drawings can be accepted from moving forward. No, nothing else. We cannot do that in our country, so whatever AI automation you do in the plan review world, it's not going to solve the entire problem. It's going to may solve something, I know some of the local cities are having problems with whatever they're trying in the plan review process. So AI tools are there for different things. Okay, so don't think that there's only one tool. Always look at, for my department, which is going to be useful. Okay, and the city manager's office or the public information office, a city clerk can say, oh, I want this for a public record request. Fine, fine. That's that. Again, somebody asked like a contractor history of what it used to be and what is now, right? And one city reported this many, it was reducing public record requests, okay? Things like that. And this is real data. The key thing to notice here is that most common call or inspection questions involving code compliance and plan requirements. So early morning, they get those calls. So this was able to solve it. Not the whole thing, but at least some. In my opinion, everybody, that if this is going to help 50% of the time, I think that's a good solution. It's not going to be 100%. And somebody said, this is a good, Sparky said it's a good research tool. Somebody else said something else. That's a way to look at it, so that the next thing I'm going to show is when COVID happened, it's like how we can open up all the permits and things like that. I think it's a Burbank case study. Again, it's not a marketing thing. We're just sharing information. Need to provide quality service, to their citizens, especially, permitting, planning, taxes, parking, service requests, public works. And then the solution was, in 5 years, it resulted in $22+ million in online revenue. Okay. So again, I truly believe more self-service we are going to provide, more information instantly people can find. I think that's the name of the game. I think that is what all the cities, and how can it make building official job easier? How can it make plan review engineers job easier so that they focus on their stuff instead of just running around looking for things. That's my take. Example is Sri Alameda put it like this, and I want to talk about the vision, right? I think it acts as a personal assistant tool for the building official and plan review engineer. We went away from having secretaries, most of the organizations, and this could be the virtual secretaries. It helps our job, right? I use it. I don't have a secretary anymore, and the thing I boldly say, I said it in Calbo annual meeting, and people go like, what? Website as we know it is going to just become the content repository. I see 3 to 5 years from now, every website will be, ask me a question, whether it is Apple or whether it is, city of, Buena Park, it's going to be ask, and it's going to provide information, and the content is from the website. So it has to be in the background. You don't have to have a, pardon my French, sexy looking website, and every website vendor says, okay, it's going to cost you so much to redo the website, and then it becomes static, right? The technology is always changing. So I truly believe that websites will become a content repository. Okay, we need them. That's it, right? And it can provide intelligence beyond answering questions. This is what I was talking about. One of the voice agents said, hey, which side of the street you live in? Instead of saying there are two, right? So intelligence involved. What if it can schedule and reschedule your planning meetings or meetings and appointments, help with permit payments, provide sentiment analysis of customers and daily summary. When I say customers, it's the citizens. This is what we see. And So you can ask me questions, comments, and overall, what I'm saying is that it's here to stay, and there are things you look for your own departments, whatever you're looking for, how it can make it easier for you, and yeah, there are a lot of AI companies popping up now, and look for the compliance, like Steve talked about, look for the safety, and things like that, and there is no one answer, but you just have to really look at what it can do, what it cannot do. Okay, what it can do, what it cannot do, and make sure any vendor, any product you choose, they answer that question. Okay, um, that's so. I've opened up the floor for Q&A. So, Guillermo.
Yeah, if there are any questions from anybody just on, how technology or presentation that he had. And Eric.
Hi, I
Yeah.
was just curious. Something like this for like a city like Burbank, I can see how it would help a lot with multiple sections of that city or departments. Would this be something that would be done in the future too with a larger, county or a larger city where there's multiple, um, you know, sections, units, bureaus? Like, would this be implemented all across the board? Like, for example, there's fire department, building department,
Mhm.
under the same city, or
Mhm.
how would that work?
It's a great question. What you're saying is, will something like this work for larger cities, right? That's what you're asking with
Yes,
different
just
departments.
because there's more,
Mhm.
again, more units. There's a unit within another unit, or different
Mhm.
subsections. So I'm just
Mhm. Mhm.
curious, like, if it isn't a tool or an assistant where, it's meant to kind of like have the system more structured. How does that work when it has to cross into another department or another section? Is it gonna be able to centralize that in a way, or
Mhm.
what
Can
have
I
you?
can I can I mention something? Yeah, I'm testing. I'm Steve again from City of Burbank. We're implementing this as we're talking about it. It's going to go across all the websites. I mean, we have about 16 departments, and these tools will go across all departments. So if you have any queries that you want to ask about anything about the departments, it will pop up in that virtual assistant called Ask Burbank. So I just made some tests, and it's a pretty good tool. This is in my opinion. So it's going to be across all the departments for the
Steve,
city. So
yeah, Steve, thank you. There are two things to what he's saying. One is that it can sit on top of the entire website. Okay, for example, Malibu has two websites. One is Malibu Rebuilds and one is Malibu. Right? It sits on both the websites. Whatever thing you give, that is one thing. The other thing I think you're also alluding to is that what if there are data from fire department or within that? Or what if there is some data, internal data? It's not the website data, internal data. Uh, let's say, what is that? Business license information or police information. Whatever is a public information, if you open it up to this tool, it will answer those questions. Not only website related multiple departments, but even the data, right? It can provide that information. Did we answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you
Okay.
for explaining that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay.
It sounds like the virtual assistant is only as good as the input. And so you're going to have to either digitize or provide all the data to this assistant so that it can harvest all that information and provide it. So it seems like there's like a prerequisite or something that needs to be done before this can actually kick in. Is
Great
that
question.
correct?
It's 100% correct. So one is that let us say your website, right? There are some laws. So the city has to do some work in terms of, making sure the website has the most current information. If a new city manager joined and if this information is not there, then you ask who the city manager is going to tell the old city manager's name. So that is one thing. The other thing the city has to do, which is a very important point you just brought up, is that the data you open up, you want to make sure it's a public records. Okay, you don't want to be open because it doesn't require user ID password. Anybody can sitting in Timbuktu and can go there to ask Burbank and ask this question, right? So the data has to be, and Burbank is very disciplined. They have on their on base, there is a flag, which is what we need to look at, and then that's a public information, right? So the city has to. And the third thing is sometimes cities have scanned all these documents, whether it is a plan document or PDFs or whatever, a permit records from old times. They have to open that up, meaning they have to tell us which folder. It could be some file folder. It doesn't have to be pushed into, on base or laserfish or whatever. We just need to know where it is. And then we automatically refresh it. If it is a day-to-day data, like a permit data or not, it's a daily basis, it refreshes, right? So I think I'm going beyond what the question was, but I think it's a very good question.
What about like redacting some of those? You're talking about public information and public safety. Is there a way to redact or limit, like you were just talking about, that public information that people would be able to see from those scanned documents?
Yeah, so you can, when it's pulling, they don't see the document. So if you say that, let's say business license information where it has their license number or the social security number, as long as we train it, it won't show those items. It can be redacted, but, there are only so much it can do, Sparky. It's only so much it can do. So redaction, some basic redactions it will do, and we constantly look at what else we can do. And as long as the public facing documents are fed, then we are good. Otherwise, we do our own checks and stuff like that. And that happens even when somebody is putting together something from the city's public record request. Unless the attorney looks at it and he really, with a fine tooth comb, something slips through the crack too. It's a challenge. No, it's definitely a challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any comments?
All right. So, yeah, if you had anything else to add, it doesn't look like we have any more questions. All right.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For
That was very
listening.
helpful.
Yeah, thank you. I hope it was helpful. Trying to do this short notice, but I hope this was helpful. I always believe, that if you can get one nugget from a presentation, I think the job is done. So I hope you got at least one nugget from whatever I shared. And but thank you for your time. Thank you for your generosity.
All right, thank you. And yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Yeah, this was definitely just something to kind of, I think we've all been feeling the pressure, working within community development, plan review, everything. Just how we can, always be faster, always provide more information. So I think looking at, technology, something that's definitely going to be that we're all going to be looking at to kind of help us push out more of that information to free up more time for our permit techs to, process permits, rather than, doing some of the regular kind of over-the-counter questions. But with that, thank you everybody for joining. Our secretary will be sending out CEUs within the next week or so, and we definitely hope to see you at our next in-person meeting, which is going to be at the LA County Public Works Building. So please sign up. We look forward to seeing everybody in person. And with that, we will adjourn our meeting and see you next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.